It's your boy Triple Black. Hey man, I'm just on here. I had to get in the kitchen, about to whip something up. But wanted to talk to you guys, man. Shout out to the Dagger Squad, man. Garfield, man. Just got put onto his channel. Great content. I've called a couple times on the show. I even sent him a Facebook message, trying to get him to come on the No Cupcake Zone for a time or two. But anyways, man, this ADOS thing. I mean, I realize it's probably a point of diminishing return, um, and now I'm just trying to get a better understanding. And I'm all about progression and identifying things. I realize that sometimes I'm not perfect and I'm stubborn sometimes to understand other people's point of view. And I was watching the show and I was what was interesting. I was watching the different points of view of people that are for this ADOS movement, and this there's people for the movement, and then there's people not so for the movement. And and I was just thinking for myself, I'm just at a point of diminishing return, because whatever evidence that I come up with, it really doesn't even matter. It goes on deaf ears. Um, you know, it doesn't even matter. I'm My son is and my wife. They're I guess they would be considered ADOS. So I feel like I got a vested interest in that. And a lot of people, from the ADOS community don't feel like I have a vested interest, even though I'm married to someone that might qualify for that. But it is what it is. And I realize that arguing, not just arguing, or just, it goes on deaf ears. It just goes on deaf ears. It's not. It's it's like I figured. I'll use this as an example. It's like a woman, um, that, or relationship that you're in, and then you see that person in a different relationship, and it's successful. The person on the outside looking in of that relationship is always going to look, oh man, that person didn't do this for me, that person didn't do that for me. And I think that's type of the thing that we're going through right now. Like, a lot of the people from the ADOS, for instance, they felt like, a lot of their relationship with America, they didn't get a lot of the opportunities that you know like black immigrants got with America. It's just like when if you're in a relationship, when you're in it and it doesn't work out, and then you see somebody else in that relationship, they get married and they successful, then you always think, oh, you know what, that person didn't give me the same opportunity. That person was always doing this, or that person was always doing that. And I think it's kind of like that same thing. Shout out to Yard Boy, man. Shout out to him, man. Shout out to my island people, man. But it's it is it's, to me, it's not even. I think it's just it's an interesting subject, just in general to talk about. But I really do think it is the point of diminishing return, because no matter what you come up with, like, for instance, like the ADOS movement, they said, was grassroots and it's a brand new thing. But I just found out there was In Cobra, and uh, there was In Cobra, and then there's also the CARICOM movement that's been around for a long time, and those people, have been doing the same thing for a long time. But if you ask an ADOS person, they're going to find every reason to marginalize what you're saying. They're going to find every reason to disagree what you're saying. They're going to be like, well, this is unique to us, blah blah blah. It really doesn't even matter. It really doesn't even matter. And I like the conversation that Garfield was having. Shout out to him, Dagger Squad, man. Make sure you guys subscribe to his channel, man. Great content, man. Jamaican cat, great content. But and I started to really delve into this HR 40 thing, which he talks about all the time. Which when I first got into this ADOS argument, never really even and I listened to the talking heads. They never really talked about HR 40, and then I found out about HR 40 that it's not even a bill. It's a bill. It's not even a real tangible bill. It's just something to get a commission together. It's and plus they have to go through the legislative process. So and it's like validating something that we already know. And I just got to thinking, man. You know what? Let me look at some of the arguments that the ADOS people have about their current state and how it's different. And the more and more I think about it, and I even made a video, they are absolutely right about the current state that they're in. But the only problem is a lot of Caribbean immigrants that came over to this country were you know probably in a worse state if you look at colonialism and you also look at uh, the outright poverty, and that's the thing. But enough of that. But one of the things that I was really thinking about, I was just thinking about the educational system, and one of the arguments that the ADOS make is about why for instance like the Nigerians, why they are I guess outperforming pretty much everybody, including the Black Americans, including the Chinese and stuff like that. They're just outperforming everybody in school, just African people in general. And the thing about it was, because a lot of those people come from colonized countries. You know, they had their you know own form of oppression, and they a lot of them, like for instance, if you're from Cameroon, you were occupied by the French. Probably some of your part was occupied by these different colonial powers. So you end up having to be immersed in their culture. You know what I'm saying? If you're from Nigeria, you're colonized by the British, and I think some parts are colonized by different people. People are not saying that ADOS is a new thing. At least never came across that argument. People are saying that the reparation conversation hasn't been this lauded prior, to the point that it's in a political debate stage. Um, Probably not. With the power of social media, you're probably absolutely right about that part of it. Again, if what I'm saying is if you listen, and this is my sentiment, if you listen to the talking heads about the ADOS, you would think that it was something that they came up with. That's what I'm just saying, is you would think that there was something, and that's simply not true. It's simply just not true. It's not true. I mean, you can say whatever you want to say about it, but Tone Talks and Yvette Carnell did not make up HR 40. They did not make. They're not the first people that went after reparations. I mean, James Clyburn has had HR 40 bill since 1989, and that is something that they're championing. But it may be just like in music. You have a lot of music right now that are old ass songs, that were remade and repackaged, that were from 1980s, 1990s, 1970s. But if you ask a young person, they think it's brand new. It's a brand new thing. They can repackage it. But that's just our generation. And that's just, and when you're being honest about that part of it, it almost seems like you're being against it. If you have any questions, uh, or anything, like for instance, my first question uh, was you have somebody like Yvette Carnell that is the face of this ADOS movement, and she's a lesbian, and in that part of it didn't it didn't really register with me because any pro blacks 2 years ago were talking about how the LGBT community was trying to co-opt or trying to infiltrate black issues and kind of just mess everything up. But that was the argument. Not Clybourne, John Conyers. It's kind of insulting to think James Clybourne pushed HR 40. Um, well, I'm just going by the information that I got, from the different shows. Like I said, I was very ignorant to HR 40 because when people were talking about that, oh, HR 40 was a bill, and I thought it was a bill that had specifically, legislation to get reparations. It's actually a bill to get a council together to have a study to find out what the effects of reparations were. That's what it is. I mean, I don't know what you're insulted about is John Conyers, but I thought it was James Clybourne that is actually because he's the major. I mean, he's the was it the whip or something like that for with the Congress or some shit. But he's basically like the guy that you pretty much have to get on board even to put it in discussion. But you can school me if I'm wrong about that. I mean, you said not James Clybourne, but John Conyers. That's kind of insulting to think John pushed for it. But it's been something that's been written up since 1989, and like I said, it's not brand new. I mean, it's been since 1989. They said that in was it in Cobra is a group of people just like ADOS. They've been around for 32 years. I mean, if I'm wrong about that, like I said, I'm learning about that. Tell me what the truth is. I had to do some research to be schooled on it, but whatever. But what I'm saying is if I this was never mentioned in a lot of the talking heads point about why we need reparations. They never talked about uh, the the other groups that have been trying to do the same thing, like CARICOM. They've never talked about it. I think you should educate yourself more on the subject. John Conyers' push since 1989 seemed to be trying to stop reparations conversation. Okay, he's been seeming to stop it. So it's John Conyers. Okay, if I was wrong about that, I apologize for that. If I'm wrong about that, but HR 40 it never whoever HR 40 has been in existence since 1989. Is that fact or not? You just admitted that, and it's not. And then one of the things that you guys were talking about, you were talking about the tangibles. That you're talking about tangibles. There's, I mean, and you can tell me if there's anything legislatively tangible about trying to have a study to prove something that we already know. I mean, go ahead. We can go. I mean, I don't want to go in the rabbit hole about that, since I mean it's almost a gotcha thing, on this stuff. Everything is a gotcha. Oh, you didn't know this Monday. I mean, was it mundane detail? So because I didn't know this detail about John Conyers or James Clybourne, all of a sudden that everything that I say and every question that I have is I guess invalid. I mean that's it's invalid. But I mean I can just ask a simple question: has it been written or been presented since 1989? And that the question is yes or no. There was a commission set before the Japanese that was given reparations. Okay, so that is the model that they're using to get that, but it's been in existence since 1989. That's the question. I'm not saying that you're saying what you're saying is okay, but I almost feel like every time you have this conversation, it's like people will in order to poke a hole in everything that you're saying, they just find one part of what you're saying and they think it's wrong, and then all of a sudden I'm an idiot. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm uneducated. Blah blah blah. But anyways, just like in Cobra, I mean, are we disputing the fact that in Cobra is? I mean, no matter what you call it, has been calling for reparations for like the last 32 years or something like that. They've basically been doing the same thing as as ADOS. So I mean, I don't know if anybody know what the difference is now, and I'll do some research to find out what the difference is. You know, if it sounds to me like the only difference is ADOS has made it a point to make the distinction of the American descendants of slavery. Like there's I mean, they've more highlighted the uniqueness of the American descendants of slaves, which is fine. And now that I'm understanding that part, because that is I mean, that's absolutely true about that. You do have a unique experience. Um, you have a unique experience of slavery. But the French, I mean, not the French, but the Haitians, the British, I mean, not the British, but the Jamaicans, I guess we all have our unique experience of oppression. The people in Sierra Leone, the people in just Africa in general, they have their own form of oppression. They had apartheid. They had colonialism. They had you know wars. Just war after war after war. They've had civil wars, and in those were directed, and the people that got enriched were the colonial powers. So that's a different experience in itself. You've had you know modern day slavery. Where kids are getting their hands cut off, and this is not. I mean, this is in the last century. For not getting enough diamonds. I mean, and if you can dispute that, I mean, but I don't want to even go into that rabbit hole, because all it's going to do is invoke some type of message to ADOS people that I'm marginalizing their experience, or not talking about their experience as hard. But it's like I'm tired of going into this rabbit hole, and I'm trying to understand more of the thought part, because coming from my perspective, there's a lot of different things that it's like when you look at the sky and you look at it and you say, what, the sky is blue, and then you have a person that will come over there, argue you up and down that the sky is not blue. It's like a different color. It's gray, or it's sky blue, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? They will argue with you, till the cows come home, that whatever I mean, the sky is not blue. And then I look at it and I was like, well, the sky is blue, and I guess it really gets it's no point. It's really no point. But no, back to what I was saying is um, well, I'm trying to figure out, like, because there's a lot of things that like, for instance, like the talking heads are talking about with ADOS, and why, Like for instance, like Nigerians, can come over here and have more success in school, or Africans in general. And like for instance, a lot of times they're right about some of the advantages, but the advantages are something that was probably created by America. For instance, like like for instance, I mean, growing up in, just in the projects, I was like one of very few people that had my mom and my dad in the household. Which, I mean, to this day, my friends, my African American friends do say, I mean, that they point that out to me. He was like one of the very few dudes, along, like, most of the Haitian kids, lived within our community. Most of them had their, a two-parent household. They had two incomes coming in there. So I guess that makes a little. I mean, that definitely makes a big difference. I mean, it really makes a big difference. You know, a lot of us didn't have, siblings, fathers, mothers that were incarcerated, and I'm just going from my own experience. That actually makes a difference. You're absolutely right about that. The black family. You know, most of the black, just even African Americans that I knew, um, that had their mother and their father, uh, you know, together, or had a relationship with their father. You could tell, you know, a lot of them went. I mean, I'm just trying to think of some of my friends that went to college. They went to college. Yes, black face different systematic attacks on the family. I'm just saying, when you think of a traditional African family, they're most of them, come from the African tradition, which are nuclear family, nuclear families. They'll have, generations and generations of, they may have a three different generations living in their household, and usually the father is at the top of it. So from that perspective, I think that could make a difference. And then you can also, if you look at their educational system, like, the leader of the household comes from, if you come into America speaking three different languages, three different Latin languages, which makes a tremendous difference. Just, uh, uh, I'm not just saying from an IQ perspective. Like, when I was in high school, we used to have these programs, like, you had the honors kids, uh, and they were learning Latin language. I mean, they were learning Latin. They were learning Latin, like, in the ninth grade, and some of them were learning Latin in the eighth grade. And if you know what Latin languages are, once you know one, if you can perfect that, it's really easy to understand all the Latin languages. So, and they gave that to the smart kids exclusively, and that was kind of like if you were black and you were able to get into that circle, that was kind of almost a badge. You know what I'm saying? Like, you were one of the smart kids. You were one of the Boule, Jack and Jill kids. You know what I'm saying? Which, out of every 10 of us, you may have two or three of those guys. Mommy and daddy, went to high school. I mean, went to college. They lived in a two-parent household. They even had a house. But you have, like, Nigerian or African immigrants, or people from Trinidad and Jamaica. Like, most of those, that was like a normal thing from the beginning. That's like a normal thing. Like for Haitians, well, we're a little bit different circumstance, because we came from third world country. A lot of our families, still living. I mean, but we still have that same type of thing. But hold on. Education starts at home. Once you destroy that, you destroy the overall worth of a people. So, but I mean, I don't want to go into a rabbit hole or anything like that. but it definitely makes a difference. It really makes a difference. Now, that is a systemic problem within the United States. It is, and I don't know. I don't know how you can really fix that. I really don't know how you can fix that, um, because there is a lot of animosity between, let's just say, like the ADOS type people and the second and first generation immigrants. You know, that's a relationship that it seems like I thought it was. I didn't really understand the tension. I mean, I really didn't understand how deep the tension is, because this movement has gave a lot of I guess Black Americans, what you would call Black Americans, a voice to really talk about what they felt for a long time. And I really didn't really notice that. I mean, it's opening my eyes of how much disdain that they have for Black immigrants. And I really didn't really. I mean, I kind of understand. When we were growing up, we went through, things like people stereotyping you, people calling you names, those type of things. And I, as an adult, I kind of thought we grew out of that. Maybe because I was insulated from a lot of that, because for the longest, I've been with my wife for almost 7 years now, and again, I kind of forgot about that, because my best friend, my best friends in high school were American. American Haitian. I got a diverse, but my two closest best friends, um, you know, in high school were American. So I kind of forgot about that whole thing, and I really don't know. I really don't even know how if this thing could ever be repaired. I think there's always going to be animosity, you know, among the two, the two different tribes. Um, I'm calling it tribes, but because the I don't know. The it's almost like I think most Black Americans feel like the success of like non-ADOS people were artificial. Um, were artificial, and that's kind of unfortunate. That's really unfortunate because uh, you can't really deny some of the hard work that a lot of the brothers and sisters that come from the continent, the Caribbean, have done. But a lot of Black Americans feel like that success was artificial, and that was off the backs of them. It wasn't. They don't take in consideration the the colonial advantages that they've had, in this country. And if you bring that up, it almost like they take it as you marginalizing the effects of slavery. It's like, okay, America has been stealing resources from other nations, even before. They've been stealing resources from nations before slavery, after slavery. They're stealing resources from nations now, and I'm Haitian American. I benefit from colonialism. I benefit from colonialism, but to get like an ADOS person say, you know what, we have benefited from colonialism. that would be like a hard thing because they're going to automatically respond about the disadvantages that they've had, because of slavery, and which is true, and that pickle, I don't think you could ever solve that pickle. I really don't even think you can ever solve that pickle because it's always going to go back to that, and for like from like, let's just say from an African perspective, like they're always going to look at an ADOS person like, damn, like the West has robbed us. They've robbed us of our resources. They've robbed us of our identity. They've robbed us of all these type of things. It's like, and you don't see that. You don't see that. You just see me as some spear chucker coming over here and trying to co-op your movement, but you don't understand that there's people getting their hand cut off. There's villages getting bombed. The colonial power has sterilized a whole bunch of people, but that goes on deaf ears. I mean, if you say that, then you're just marginalizing their experience. So you're going back and forth, back and forth. Who is, I guess, who was oppressed more? Um, who was marginalized more? Who got more stolen from them? And that's what I'm saying is like having this whole conversation is for me, it's I've hit at a point of diminishing return. I mean, there's really no getting no return, and it almost and I hate to say this, it almost feels that I almost feel like selling out, like because I'm a like and that's just me as a person. I'm like, if it's fuck me, then it's fuck you. Like if you're saying all this shit, I might as well just sell the fuck out. Like I'm just saying, if you are going to marginalize my existence and say that whatever my parents worked for and whatever my ancestors died for and shit like that really don't mean shit because it was meant for us, it wasn't meant for you. Like what are they, I mean, there's really nothing to even talk about it anymore. I mean, like, fuck it, why not sell the fuck out? You know what I'm saying? I mean, again, I come from a culture of like, if it's fuck me, it's fuck you too. Like, I don't know. I just don't. It's really not even no point anymore. I might as well just sell the fuck out. I can understand why fucking people sell the fuck out now because if you're never going to validate me and you think that I'm supposed to be on some second class shit, then fuck it. Like it does. You know what I'm saying? Just screw it. Screw it. You know what I'm saying? If you don't see me as a brother, you see me as different, then fuck it. No, I I guess that's probably what happened, to a lot of the kid. I mean, the people that they said that kind of sold out or acted real coonish. It was because they probably got to the point where they didn't feel like they would ever be accepted, and they were ostracized and marginalized and all of this stuff. And I mean, that was never me. I never really felt. I mean, I always felt like growing up in America, because I got treated a certain way. I always felt like I was a black. I was black. Even though I was Haitian, I was of the Haitian culture, but I always felt a sense of blackness. If the black guy was playing, I was rooting for him. No matter if he was American or whatever. But if the Haitian guy was playing, I was rooting for him even harder because of where my parents came from. I always felt that sense of thing. When I saw Trayvon Martin, got murdered in that whole Zimmerman trial. I never looked at myself as Haitian. I just looked at myself as black. You know what I'm saying? I never felt that, but this whole thing has opened my eyes. It's like, you know what? Why the fuck am I even fighting this fight if the people that you thought that you're fighting with, they kind of see you as different. They don't fuck with you like that. And I'm thinking to myself, if they don't fuck with me like that, why should I fuck with them like that? So I don't know. That's kind of like what the point I'm at, and I don't know. It's just like the more I see some of these videos and shit like that, and the more I see that shit is. Hold on. I think sometimes we as black people create the coons. Cooning for some seems to be payback for getting mistreated from black people as child. But not all cases, though. No, I mean, yeah, I mean, it is kind of. What is cooning though? I mean, what is cooning? And 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 I think that's a conversation. For instance, when you have like a kid like me, right? A kid like me, when I grew up, growing up, like both my parents didn't speak English, so they didn't speak English, and my first language was Creole, Haitian Creole. So I learned English from probably in school. I learned it probably from my teachers. I probably learned it from just being in school, and probably from different people. So I learned a whole bunch of. I mean, like I learned English in a whole different way. You know, didn't really learn a lot. And then one of the things that I remember in grade school was sometimes I would be mocked. And a lot of Haitian kids were kind of mocked that way too, if they didn't have an accent. Because if they didn't have an accent, that means they spoke English very proper. Like what the white people, how you speak like a white person. That's and I think a lot of them kind of held on to that, and I think that's probably one of the reasons that they've kind of like a lot of them like kind of shied away from like the black community, because if you're being ostracized for having one, you're being ostracized for having an accent, and then you're being ostracized for speaking too proper, or thinking that when you speak too proper, all of a sudden people think that, oh, you're better than me, or that type of thing. So it does make sense, to a certain and think about that shit. Just think about that shit. If you're an ADOS person, did you have that kid that that either spoke with an accent or or spoke too proper, and you treated them different? A lot of people probably won't admit to that, but that goes on. It went on a lot. I can remember. That got me into fights a lot. I used to whoop a lot of ass. I used to beat motherfuckers down. So don't get that shit twisted. But that is something to think about. But I don't know, man. I'm not selling out. My son is black, and he's always gonna be black. But I can understand why a lot of people do sell out, because of this, because you hear this, you hear this stuff, like, and social media kind of gives you, there's a certain amount of, and you can be anonymous, and you can be anonymous and you can spew wherever you want to, because there's a lot of channels where you can hear, people are being honest. When I respect that honesty, I can respect that honesty where how they felt about, you know, um, about black immigrants, which that's, I mean, it kind of hurts a little bit, but you know what? But you gotta respect that honesty, and it kind of opens your eyes, and it almost makes you feel like, damn, these. I mean, I gotta keep an eye on these people, because they don't really fuck with us. they, they don't even they don't really fuck with us. You know what I'm saying? It's like, even like some of the talking heads, like for instance Tariq Nasheed, and I'll bring him up. It's like, even though he made like a documentary about Haiti, and you listen to his rhetoric and you listen to the people that follow him, and you're like, you leave with the expression like, man, these people don't fuck with us. They don't fuck with us at all. I'm like, God damn. They really don't fuck with us. You know? But it is what it is. But if you listen to the Tone Talks and those type of people, like, I mean, like, it really leaves you with the impression that they don't fuck with us. Like, and I don't know how else you could take it. Like, just put yourself, from our perspective, and I guess if the shoe was on the other foot, they would probably feel that we didn't fuck with them either, which is fine. But you know, I don't know. I mean, it's I think I'm gonna get my I might get my cooning on for a little bit, man. You know what I'm saying? I need to get my coon back on. You know what I'm saying? I might start wearing, making America great again hats, or some shit. Just to get back at y'all. Nah, fuck with you. I'll never do that. I'll always be Haitian till I die. You know what I'm saying? This is it's just a eye opening experience. You just gotta I don't know, you just gotta take it for what it is. It's like, um I don't know, it's weird, because I always thought, like, the white supremacists, had, disdain for the blacks, for black people. But shit, their disdain doesn't compare to the disdain that the black Americans have, for, like, Haitian immigrants and Jamaican immigrants and stuff like that. And listen, maybe I'm being over dramatic, but if you listen, like, for instance, some of my videos that I made, and I got some comments behind it. Some comments, I mean, they couldn't even post on my video. They were so graphic and shit like that. You're like, God damn. Like, granted, some of those are probably white supremacists acting as black Americans, but damn, but there was enough of them. I was like, man, there's enough, of black Americans that really don't fuck with us. And I consider myself a black American because I was born in America, but because I identify with Haitian. Yo, what's up, Belizean Bang? Shout out to him, man. Shout out to Belize. Hey, man. We were on the panel last week, man. We were expecting you to come on, man, but we didn't see you on there. We were gonna clown your homegirl, your favorite homegirl. I love the Believe in Bang boy. You call Yvette Carnell. You be calling her out. ADOS was started by Africans. Y'all stop this movement. Yeah. It was, man. No, it was. No, I just found out about the In Cobra thing. I never knew about it, but I found out about In Cobra, and I think one of the key differences with In Cobra, I don't think that they were. It was all the 42 million, and one of the distinct differences between ADOS is just the what do you call it? Just the American descendants of slaves. If civil war broke out today, black Americans wouldn't go after white people. They would target immigrants. I believe. I mean, honestly, I believe so. I believe so. I really believe so because I think they feel like immigrants is an easier battle. I think it's an easier battle, and I think it's an easier battle. It's an easier fight to win. I think that's one of the reasons. Um, they would definitely pick a fight with us. They always pick a fight with us. The original descendants, it's originally African descendants of slaves. Yeah. I'm in the kitchen cooking, so check me out. Caribbean folks, you already know what it is. Why? Hey, no, I honestly, to tell you the truth, I really no. I think you're absolutely right about that. I really think that they would, instead of going after the white people, they would probably go after us first. Um, Now they starting to disrespect Native Americans. Yeah, it's funny. That whole thing was um, that's really kind of weird too because I remember they were making they were trying to go out of their way. They were trying to go out of their way to kind of assimilate or call themselves Native Americans. And I remember there was this one big push to kind of say basically African Americans and Indians were basically the same people. I mean I saw that a lot of videos and stuff like that. Now there's a kind of a push within the conscious community to call out Indians for what do you call it, slavery and helping the white man and stuff like that. So I see that thing coming up. Base, let them try. Got steal for Yankee. No, I mean it's a little bit of a civil war right now. I think. Um, I think it's a. I mean, it hasn't hit the street yet, but that who knows? Who knows? Like because once if it were to you know the people in control of this country, um, they can just like the MAGA movement angered people and made make people act a certain way, and you never know what can happen. I'm just gonna put it like that. I'm not gonna put any negative energy in the air like that. I'm not gonna put any negative energy in the air, but um, you don't know. You never know what can go on in this country. You know, you never know what can go on in this country because there is a. I mean, I feel like there is a concerted effort to kind of keep the Caribbean people and black people, the black Americans, I mean, at odds with each other. Um, which is weird because it's we're such a small population. I mean, we're such a small population. I don't really even see how we could be that big of a threat. But the threat, honestly, I don't really believe the threat is us necessarily. I think it's already like the way that we see the world, our ideology. Um, for instance, if you look at, and I always like to make this reference, and somebody said that in my chat room the other day. Most of majority of the most defiant slaves, during slavery, were sent to the Caribbean. And if you look at the history of Caribbean nations, they were constantly revolting against the slave masters. We've always had that reputation, to be more defiant. I guess some of if you look at where who our colonizers were, they were French, the British, and they've always had like that kind of the era of arrogance that a lot of Americans don't like. We've always seemed to, they've always kind of seen us as arrogant, like, so I think that's one of the things, and one of the things was too, I've always heard this, that they've always wanted to keep the Haitians and the African Americans, especially during that time, away from each other, because they knew what the history of Haiti was. These were a group of people that were able to overthrow their government, and they didn't want the blacks over in this nation thinking they can do the same thing. So they've always kind of kept us at odds with each other. They've always kept us at odds with each other. So it makes sense. But man, you guys check out the Dagger Squad, man. Great show, man. Really enjoyed that show. I called into it a couple times, but you guys checked him out. Garfield, man, he got some great information on the show. Hey man, I'm cooking, man. I'm cooking up that work. Cooking up that work, man. But I'm serious, guys. I'm thinking about, just from all the rhetoric that I've been hearing, I'm thinking about selling out for real. I'm thinking about selling it out. I'm thinking about going Fox News. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking about selling out on my people. You know what I'm saying? Going Kanye West. I'm thinking about it. Why not? What is to lose? Y'all hate us anyways. You know what I'm saying? Y'all niggas don't like us anyways, so I might as well sell the hell out. What is it to lose? No, I'm just fucking with you, man. I'll never do that. Never, man. No matter what, man, I'd rather die. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing I'd rather die for. Die for my respect. You know what I'm saying? One love. One love, man. One love to everybody, man. Man, that's one thing. One thing that me and my wife always get into it about is the stuff that we eat. I gotta almost have to make separate meals because you know what I grew up eating. Even though I grew up in America, it's totally different than what she is. It's the I we eat. I guess there's some, like, for instance, pork. Um, I like pig feet. You know what I'm saying? I guess that's a southern thing, but Haitians like pig feet. No, I can't do no chitlins or anything like that. No pig intestines or anything like that. Can't do that. Used to be down with black struggle until I found out they hated Africans with a passion. Yeah, 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 yeah. You know what? That is um, that's one of the things I've come to learn, man. It's it's like uh, I really I really didn't understand the disdain that they got for us. I mean, I really didn't understand. I mean, I just didn't really understand it um, until now. I mean, because I I used I'm with you, man. I used to be pro black too. I used to be pro black. You know, everything black. I married a black woman. You feel me? It's like, and then I come to find out that they don't fuck with me. Yeah, and come to find out they don't fuck with me. And like, they're because there's a lot of stuff that I mean that's really being said that makes you just be like, damn, boy, I had no idea. I had no idea. I had no idea, man. And I didn't understand that, but I really didn't understand that. But I'm married to a black woman. But our household is Haitian. We Haitian. We ain't we're Haitian. Shout out to everybody out there, man. You guys really got to check out that show, the Dagger Squad. You guys got to check that out for real. Because he does a morning show, and he gets about 100 and I don't know, about 200 people on his live feed. It's really interesting stuff, man. It's really interesting stuff. Um, he puts the videos about the different conscious people. I think he's in that whole concept. I think he's revolutionary, and I'm sure some corporate person, especially from YouTube, to see that the type of traction that he's going to be using, and they're gonna co-opt it, like they do everything, and they're gonna put some fancy Roland Martin type person behind it, and it might be that. So, shout out to that guy Garfield, man. I hope they don't do that to you, man. But that's how they usually do it. They look and they see brothers with great ideas, and next thing you know, they have like a different version. I mean, it'll be like basically the same concept show, but I'll have a lot more dollars behind it. And I've seen this a couple times, man. And some of my videos, man, I'm like, I was like watching a couple videos, and I'm like, and I'm not bragging on myself like I'm like this big star or anything like that. But some of the stuff that I was hearing in other videos, I'm like, that's funny. I said the same damn thing. Shit. It was almost the same damn idea. Called out the same person. Damn. What? I hate to say it, but a lot of black Americans have a sense of superiority about them and think that they're best black people out of all the groups. They think they struggle the most. They think they're trendsetters and blah, blah, blah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. But we... the thing is about that is like, let's talk about hip hop music. Let's just talk about that for a second, and I'm gonna make some people mad about this shit. But just look at hip hop, for instance. If you're black Americans will take all the credit for hip hop, but and you know there you'll have some. Somebody's gonna be under my comments trying to dispute what I said, but let's look at the arguably the best rapper ever, and you look at their ancestry. I mean, they say like Jay-Z, you know, him got me a knife thing. They said Jay-Z, his ancestry is Caribbean. I think he's from Biggie Smalls, he's from that. But let's just look at who supposedly started hip hop music. You know, it was in the Bronx. Some people said it was started by Puerto Ricans. Some people said it was the Jamaican guy, was it Cool Herc? But if you just look at all the biggest stars in hip hop now and you look at their background, I ain't gotta lie about it. Just look at it, and you'll be like, "Oh, well, that person's from his people from that." But don't give any. I mean, I don't think we deserve any credit for that. I mean, it's just black culture. But I'm just saying that's just what it is. You know, if you look at a lot, even the dance moves. Like, even the dance moves that they're talking about, and I'm glad you brought that up, you know, being trendsetters. And I just think that's an exclusively black thing. But you look at, like, I'll give you an example. Look at, what's his face? What's that guy? Childish Gambino. And look at his video. And, you know, you see all those dances, those hip-hop dances that he did on there. But, you know, those were African dances. I mean, they got from Africa, you know, years ago. But we're the trendsetters. You know? I was just using hip-hop example. You don't hate Africans? I don't know. I don't even go into this rabbit hole, chasing our tail, arguing about that. It's kind of hard to not, but I mean, to feel like you guys like us when you hear some of the rhetoric about us. I mean, it's to me it's kind of difficult to kind of like, man, Hey, I mean, you fought, you fought for us. Um, I guess. I mean, I'm not being an understand. Understand, bro. It's a two-way street. It is. It is a two-way street. It is a two-way street. Understood that. Understand that. It's. But it is a two-way street. But when you, I don't understand how you can feel. I mean, like you can tell us to feel that we're not being marginalized or attacked when you have a movement and large, large of the justification of the movement and the reason that it was happening, the reason that you needed to separate, it was because of us. Because we were, taking advantage of whatever. And like for instance, I saw the video today. I was watching the video today where the lady Yvette Carnell was saying that that like not like black immigrants kind of skew the numbers, and because some of us are doing so well and we are mixed into the group, it makes it look like the whole group is doing well when the whole group is not doing well. So I don't know. That's kind of a shot. When she says that, I feel some type of way about that. That because we were able to take advantage of a lot of the stuff that was exclusively set out for them. That I don't know. We kind of it almost feel like it was theater. It's thievery. It's thievery. It is. It's thievery. I mean, it's kind of a shot, but it's true. Yeah. Okay. All right. It's true. It's true. I mean, okay. I'll give you that. It is true. It skews the number. It does skew the number, but what are some of the reasons? You blame it on the fact that we co-opted affirmative action. That is the biggest talking point. It's because we were able to co-opt the affirmative action movement. That was one of the things that we've been able to basically play you guys. We played you guys into that. I mean, like the school, like schooling, for instance. We hold on a second. I'm just trying to grab my train of thought. Trying to marinate some meat. You feel me, Caribbean folk? Let me get some of that. Hey, look at this. You guys know what it is. Y'all know what it is. That's what I'm saying right here. Goya on everything. And you know what this is. I found this joint. This is sour orange. And it's got garlic already in it. You know what it is. You know what I'm saying? I'm making my version of griot today. If you guys know what that is, griot. Shout out. Man, I can't never make the griot. Hope doesn't have it. No, it doesn't have MSG. No, hell no. Hell no. See that? Nope. That Sazon, the stuff with the one lady with that stuff has it. No, no MSG for me. Co-op is a bad word to use. Unfortunately, we have some folks out there using terrible language and trying to uh, and not trying to understand the music. I mean, the movement. Black immigrants are immigrants for one generation and become African American. Now, absolutely, everybody's African American. That yeah. But I ain't got no MSG in here, man. No MSG. Shout out to Soul Traveler, man. Shout out to him, man. We did a terrific show. You know, some people didn't like the commentary. You know, some people, you were laying into us on YouTube. But it's all good, man. You know, if you ain't cracking a couple eggs, a lot of times you're not cooking. So you gotta crack a couple eggs to cook. You know, cooking this thing. Um, but no, we all African American, man. I'm talking about second generation immigrants. We don't have no damn choice. You know, I don't care how much Haitian flag you have, or you know, celebrated Haitian Flag Day. When you go, your whole existence is still African American. I mean, you still have to speak English in school. When you go to your job, you still have to speak English. I mean, I don't know that whole notion. You're African American. I mean, that's what it is. If anyone can dispute that, what it is, whatever. I think ADOS leader made some statement that was questionable. I think we need to start over with conversation. I think we spoke maybe out of turn, out of raw emotion. Yeah, you know what? You know what? I think this part right here is productive, and I can understand James Thompson. You're probably a productive person in general. I think you're a productive person in general. I don't think most people on either side sometimes are productive. I don't even think they were even trying to have a productive conversation. I think a lot of the leaderships was trying to sell. You know, they have a different agenda. They're trying to sell tickets. They're trying to sell books. They're trying to sell T-shirts. And they got a foundational black T-shirt coming out. The T-shirt line coming out, dog. By and large, ADOS doesn't hate the diaspora. I mean, I really, the people with the bullhorn. Somebody needs to tell that to the people with the bullhorns, because it sounds like it. It really sounds like it. It really even. And what was horrible about the whole thing, I think, it was because just off the merit of the discussion about reparations, I think was a needed thing, but it was, you needed some type of a scapegoat. You needed some type of example, you know, and I think it was. I mean, honestly, I think it was a bitch move, you know, like, and I'm saying bitch, like in a way, like, you know how like a woman, and I'm saying it from that term. I'm not calling all women bitches, but like, you know how if a woman gets caught cheating, right? If she get caught cheating, first thing she does, she throws you under the bus. Well, if you wasn't doing this, I wouldn't have to cheat. You know, if you were paying attention to me, I wouldn't have to cheat. I think that is the sentiment. Enough Adolf speak. Not enough Adolf speak against Not enough Adolf speak against the anti-black immigrant rhetoric. Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. Like I was saying earlier, with the thing was, it's like a person, you're looking at the sky right now, and you look at the sky and you say it's blue, and then you're like, a person comes up to you like, no, it's not. It's red. The sky is red. No, it's not blue. It's red. Katy Perry is a parrot. What the fuck does that mean? Uh-oh, we might have uh-oh, we got a white supremacist in here. Oh yeah, we got a white supremacist in the building. So I think that's because they're with it. Yeah. No, they're definitely with it. I mean, I heard enough of it. I heard enough of it to tell you. Dog, this one guy, dog, I knew shit was horrible when this one dude made a video, and this shit was kind of, it was kind of sad in a way. This guy made a video, and the first, he made a couple videos. The first video he made was, he was saying how black immigrants, they had an advantage because when they come over here, they have a clean record, and they're able to get driver's licenses, and that's why they be able to get jobs, because they have a clean record, or they have a clean driving record. Um, he also said that black immigrants don't have, a lot of felonies on their record, because when they come over here, they have a clean record, or they haven't gotten in a lot of trouble, and that's why they have an advantage, because they can get driver's licenses. Um, what he said, what else he said? Then he made another thing about how hip hop was messed up because of Nigerian bootleggers. They were bootlegging the music, and they messed up hip hop because it was the Nigerian bootleggers. But he never said anything about Napster and like the internet, where you can go get music from the internet for free. Like that's how that's how you could tell, like there was some shit to it. But I don't know. I've seen it all. I have a different sentiment because um, I saw some. I've never. I think in my 38 years, I've probably been told to go back to Haiti. Probably, I don't know, maybe once or twice in my life. I've been told to go back to Haiti. I don't know, last month. I don't know, at least 20, 30 times. Go back to Haiti. Um, we need to reconcile with our brothers and sisters, but we also need to deal with facts. A lot of immigrants do come here and undermine the struggle. That is a conversation that we need to have. I undermine the struggle. How? How does I don't. I really don't understand what Haitian, what African has enough power to undermine a group of niggas that spend over 1.3 trillion dollars. I really need to understand how the immigrant has the ability, coming from a third world country, have the ability to do that, because we don't see them as black, they see themselves as something else. um I I'm really struggling. I really struggle with that, with just even thinking about that or even answering that. Um, because I've been pulled over by the cops before. I've been profiled before. I've been called nigger before. Um, I have. I don't know. I really don't understand when we never have seen ourselves. I mean, I don't know. It's great. James, they see themselves as God's chosen people. Yeah, Carl Anderson even said that. Um, and he made it a point to say that. Um, he made it a point to say that these like blacks from America are a what do you call it? Are exceptional people. Black immigrants don't owe anything. I mean, anyone anything to undermine a struggle. Um, I don't. I don't. When you say undermine a struggle, I really don't even know what the. I mean, I don't even know what that means. Like, if you go, for instance, coon for coon, you guys out the coon population amongst self-hating Black Americans. Just, I mean, I think you guys might double us. So when it comes to undermining, like, I don't know. I mean, what's our version of Kanye West? What's our version of Kanye West? Soul Traveler, that's part of the problem. We don't recognize the struggle our ancestors have to go through this. This is why we are having this conversation. Yeah, I don't even know why we even having this conversation. Just like Umar said, man, there was no there was no Haitian there was no Haitian slave trade. There wasn't no Jamaican slave trade. There is an a transatlantic African slave trade. So we're all the goddamn same. I don't even understand that shit, man. How do you come to a country and not respect uh, how you are able to, and not respect how you're able to get here? Respect. When you say respect, what do you mean? What do you mean? Now I think we're having this conversation out of nowhere for no reason. Adolf started talking down to us. Yeah, the cooning of Dominicans is huge. Yeah, the cooning of Dominicans. Like, y'all didn't even. You made it a point to go after Haitians and Africans. You guys didn't say no damn thing about no damn Dominicans. You guys haven't said anything about no damn, like, Puerto Ricans that make it a damn point not to even to. Oh, I'm not black. Oh, I mean, I don't like that's a damn different conversation. Let's keep it honest. Let's keep that shit honest. Like, me going to Haiti and be like, I don't owe Haitians. That's disrespectful. Yeah, of course they coon. Have him call in. Hold on. Hey, nah, man, I'm not on. I'm not on. I'm on a live stream on my phone. I should actually go on the Western. I don't know. think I pissed off another person on YouTube. African Americans play no role in my parents coming to America. Soul Traveler, wild brother. But they won't say anything about sexual tourism going to. You know, that's disrespectful to the ancestors. Oh my goodness. So we're getting into this again. I never heard Ada calling out. What? You never heard Ada say anything about uh, Haitians? You never? No, you need to go and look up some videos, bro. They always have Haitians. I love and respect my ancestors all across the diaspora. When African Americans helped Marcus Garvey come to America, that's true. Yeah, you know what, man? I don't even think that again a point of diminishing return. I think this is the point of diminishing return. I think the whole ADOS thing is I don't know. For me, it's useless to talk about anymore. This is what it means to be Pan African. That is mentally why we are here today. No, it doesn't mean to be Pan African. It's like sometimes I don't think like people be listening to what like people be saying. I mean, like sometimes I don't think it'd be like. So you have a hashtag, right? That is called the American descendants of slavery or slaves. Then you have the people that coined that phrase saying that one of the reasons that we are that the American descendants of slavery is in the current state that it's in is because of I never really heard him talk about. I mean, they were talking about that all the reparations that they've ever had have been co-opted by black immigrants. You know, the like affirmative action that was set aside for them was co-opted by different immigrant groups. You know, civil rights was co-opted by different immigrant groups. And that is the reason that they're in the current state that they're in. Also, that when black immigrants come over here, we don't assimilate into black society. We don't fight for you guys. We don't reciprocate. We don't do all these things. That last year, it was hold your own nuts to the Mexicans, and you guys were the problem. A year before, it was white women. That the same thing that you guys were accusing us of doing is the same thing that you guys, or you were accusing them of. And I don't even know where to go. It's not even worth it anymore. And you can't understand how we feel some type of way. I think you guys are smarter than that. You can understand why we feel some type of way. You can. You want us to respect and value your culture, but you shit in ours, and you and you out in our country, black man. It sounds so crazy when you say that is your country. And one of the biggest arguments that you make, I mean, like, if it's damn your country, why the hell you in this current state? It just sounds so weird when you say that shit. It really sounds weird as hell when you say that. It is your country. I don't see why ADOS would be speaking against Haiti when we see it catching hell from the West until this day. It's my country, my ex built it. I am more American than all these Europeans. My ancestors' blood and disrespected our legacy. Man, Haitians been over here forever. My God, I don't even know why you have to explain that shit to them anymore. Your legacy, what legacy? I don't even know. Haitians been going over here. Yeah. Uh, no, Joe Beloved, you're absolutely right about that. If you look at most hip hop, the biggest hip hop people's backgrounds, they're usually from somewhere else. I mean, that's not. I don't think that's a good subject to talk about. Their background because it's going to offend some people. You know, it's going to offend some. It's going to offend some people. The civil rights disrespected ancestors. Integration disrespected your ancestors. Black man, get your money. Black man, get your money. Black man. Yeah, my brother. How would you feel if I came over to Haiti and undermined your struggle? Dog. You're American, like you talk about. You're American. All Americans do is go to Haiti and undermine their struggle. That's why they're in their current fucking state right now. So that's not a good example. That's all you fucking do is go to Haiti and undermine their goddamn struggle. All you do is go undermine the damn struggle. You've been doing that shit for centuries. The hell you talking about? The problem is with black people in this country, we're not taught about the groups of black people. No, you don't. You're not. That is one of the problems. Is like a lot of you guys are not even, and I think they do this shit for a reason. You're not taught about the Haitian Revolution. You're not taught about other countries for a goddamn reason. You're not taught that shit. You're not taught that, a Haitian man discovered freaking Chicago. You're not taught that Haitians have fought in your Revolutionary War. You're not taught that shit. You're not taught that Haitians had helped liberate other countries. You're not taught that shit for a reason, because when the Haitian Revolution was happening, America was freaking afraid of that. They were afraid of that shit. They were afraid of that shit. Because if these people were able to get their freedom and not and you know what I'm saying, and France can't get that free labor, British can't get that free labor again, we're doomed. Our whole economy is doomed. What happened in Haiti directly? What happened in Haiti directly impacted America? Okay. So let me ask you this question. Why did America occupy Haiti militarily? Just answer that damn question, and you'll get your answer. Tell me, why did they have a vested interest to this day of electing puppet leaders in Haiti? Daniel, why did America go into Haiti and occupy it? Oh, you're right. White America did. But you know what? You guys are America in context. Now I think I've already fell into the weeds. I don't even think we can even have a. What's the chances of ADOS moving Republican Party platform for? It is I think ADOS is a Republican. The Democrats are not. I mean, no. No. ADOS is funded by the Republican Party. Their at least their leadership is. You can tell. Yvette Carnell, them. I mean, I don't know about Yvette, but I know Tariq Nasheed definitely gets a check from the Republicans. I know he gets a check from. I know he has it. Haiti has gold. Yeah. There goes the same for country, and also Haiti has oil. And was it? I can't remember that resource that Haiti has. You also have to understand that Cuba, for the longest, because they were communists, and they had a relationship with Russia and other communist countries. And Haiti is right. I mean, they're right next to each other. They had to be able to keep an eye on those commies. So they had to be able to use the first black republic in the Americas. James Thompson, if you are American, this is your country. You are equally responsible for sabotaging. Of course you are. Yeah. You can't claim America when the immigrants came here and not your country. Oh boy, here we go. We got an ADOS specialist right here. We have a ADOS supremacist back in the building. Second to yeah, I remember this guy. He's an ADOS supremacist. CARICOM is fighting for reparations. Why not share knowledge and resources? Yeah. Stop lying. The Republicans are. Stop lying. Are financing anyone? Yeah, they are. Dog. That's why there's a movement for everybody to sit on their damn hands. You know that shit is. You know. That's why you had to speak up, because a hit dog will holler. You know that. You know that. You know, dog. Why do you, hey, dog, tell me when you click on ADL's videos, you're getting Republican ads, huh? I know about marketing. I know about redirecting ads and shit. Come on, man. Don't play with me. Don't play with me. Why is your biggest YouTube star went from 1,500? He went from like 1,500 to 2,000 to 2,000. Live people, like people on his live chat, to like 6,000, and he only has like 82,000 82,000 subscribers. Come on, man. People with 1 million subscribers barely even get like 5,000 in listeners. Stop lying, boy. Come on, man. Dog, the Republicans know the more that you can get blacks to sit on their damn hands, the better chances for them to win elections. That's it. Stop lying. You know I'm right. Stop. I'm not falling for the damn okie doke. Hold on. I'm not falling for the okie doke. I'm not falling for the okie doke. Immigrants as a group hasn't done anything for black. According to you guys, we've been in, we've been in your government. We've infiltrated your government. So we haven't done anything. We have done something, haven't we? According to you guys, all the people, all the people in the government are black immigrants. So, so they've done something, haven't they? They've done something, haven't they? You can't have it both ways. Are you justifying we should just continue for Democrats that continues to ignore black? No, you should have a third party. You should have a damn third party. That's what I want, is a damn third party. It's like, so don't give it. So all right, don't give it to the Democrats. Just don't give it to the Democrats. Give it to the Republicans. Give it to the Republicans. You want to. And plus, listen, this is the thing. This is the thing, ADOS people. Let's just be honest about it. You can't vote for the Democrats and still be ADOS. Because you would be phony as hell. Because one of your things is that DACA. So you know the on the front of the Democrats' campaign is going to be DACA. That is going to be because the first of all, the Latinos run the Democratic Party now. It used to be black people, but it's the Latinos. It is the Latinos. Okay? So you really can't fuck with the Democrats and still be true to your damn roots. How could you? How could you? How could you? You can't. You'd be phony as hell. Because your biggest dog whistle, I don't think it was a full bullhorn, was illegal immigration. So how the hell, if you know fighting for illegal immigrants is going to be at the top of the Democratic agenda, how the hell can you vote Democrat? You can't. You guys are just like that broad that that no matter what, she's not gonna date you. She's not gonna date you. She's gonna be like, oh yeah, you go ahead and get a car or get $1 million. I'll go on a date with you. No, she's not. She's never gonna date you. You guys are not. I mean, you're just posturing. It is called political posturing. That's what you and the ADOS movement are doing with the Democrats. And I think, judging by how Bernie Sanders is treating y'all, they understand that you guys are politically posturing. Period. That's it. Build a wall, deport the illegals, and in DACA. Also sent temporary people are due to back to their country. Exactly. You know what? Second to none. You ain't posturing. This is what you want. This is what you want. This is what Republicans want. You are a true conservative. Let's just keep it 100. Don't like we don't want to play these. You don't need to play these games with us. You know what I'm saying? Acting like you're on some damn like the Democrats really had a damn chance with y'all. No, you are a MAGA. Let's just keep it honest. You're a fucking MAGA. That's what you are. Just be honest with it. Don't be acting like, oh, you know what, the Democrats have it. No, you're not. They don't have a chance with you. We aren't messing with anyone who ain't talking ADOS. Okay, then. You tell me, then, what Republican is messing with ADOS, then? Yeah, most black people are pretty conservative. We've known that for years. Martin Luther King was a damn conservative. But I'm just saying, I'm talking about right now, name one Republican that's talking about ADOS right fucking now. Name one politician. Has Donald Trump talked about reparations? Ted Cruz talked about reparations? What black conservative has talked about reparations? Which one? Michael Steele. Oh, okay. He's running for office right now. Didn't they run him out of the Republican Party? I fucking love this goddamn posturing, boy. Y'all motherfuckers, boy. You guys will really fucking like. This shit is fucking deception. Like I'm not. I don't go. Like I play fucking football. I play defense. I look for the play action fake and the play action pass. I look for the person going in motion. That's just wired in me. I play fucking football. I mean, I don't know if you guys play football. I look for the fucking, the influence block. I look for the deception. That's what I look for. The Black New Deal. But did he say reparations? Did he say reparations? What is the difference? Bernie talked about some bullshit. Bernie talked about some bullshit. So you can say Bernie talked about some bullshit. A rising tide lifts all ships or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Stop this goddamn political posturing. We understand where your bread gets buttered, ADOS. You don't have to pretend anymore. You don't. It's too late to threaten not to vote. You're threatening not to vote. Like, okay, then what other choice do you have? A Democrat will align themselves with our values, and we will vote for that candidate. If you can't, you cannot, you can't, because you already know the top of their ticket and their thing is DACA. It's illegal immigration. It's the Latinos. They've already took it. You can't. You can't vote for Democrats and be, you know what I'm saying, and be true to the game. You can't. Stop this political posturing. That's why you have all these fuckers. Like, you have these fuckers low key. Oh, we don't mind Trump. Oh, we don't mind Trump. Go ahead and sit on your hands. Oh, we don't mind Trump. Oh, no, we want Trump. We don't mind Trump. Guess what? You know why? Because they don't mind Trump. Because, you know what? They're going to be like tangible. No, they're going to be like intangibles 2024. You know what I'm saying? All right, go ahead, send me some donations. You know, so we can get this movement, Intangibles 2024, going on. You know, so we can get this movement going on. Oh, yeah, HR 40. That we can get this thing, you know, we need to get this reparations bill. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and send me. Come on, man. Stop fucking playing games with people, man. God damn, boy. Y'all keep it 100. This is my favorite shirt, man. 100. Like, just keep it real. Like, your boy just said it, man. Like, he just, and then now he's trying to backtrack. Oh yeah. Like the Democrats that align themselves with our values. How the hell are they going to align themselves with your values? Tell me what Democrat, what white liberal is going to just go on black issues. Just on black issues. Straight up black issues. Tell me what white liberal is going to do that. Tell me what white liberal is going to do that. None. You know what I'm saying? It's like you want a white coon. You want a white coon. But you're not going to get one. White people spend billions of dollars trying to wipe you out, and you think they're going to turn around and give you money. I guess, man. Shit, man. It's almost about that time. I gotta go and pick up my son. Man, you know, like, I rather, just like you guys say, you guys like your white supremacy on a platter. I like my ADOS supremacy on a platter too. Just be your damn self. It's early in the game. Candidates will have to bend to the will of the people. DACA it's a no-go. Listen, Democrats know where their bread is buttered. They've already made that deal. And that's what I suggested that ADOS do. But you know what? They were politically posturing and trying to bully a white dude to be black. Bernie Sanders, which didn't make no damn sense to me. But anyways, you guys know better than me, man. I'm signing off. I gotta go pick up my son. Man, holla at your boy. Make sure you guys hit the like button, man. I gotta get up out of here. Soul Traveler, man. Holla.